but it talks about how social platforms are engineered to promote addiction and connection. And I can tell you that right now your phone is right next to you and it's dinging and donging and pinging and ponging, and even if it's not, you feel like it's dinging and donging and pinging and ponging without you, and you have to check it. Now, I understand y'all are real estate professionals and you say totally connected to that, but you need to understand how to stay focused. So believe it or not, there's an app called Stay Focused. All right, this is kind of funny. Let me first show you the Forest app. Let's see, I'm gonna come over here and find my Forest app. So the Forest app is hilarious. This is for all you environmentalists out there or people who just have a sense of humor. So Forest, you set a time for you not picking up your phone. We pick up our phone 150 to 221 times a day. And that's normal people. That's not real estate professionals. So Forest, you set an amount of time where you're not going to pick up your phone. And then while you sit there in peace, a tree grows. But if you pick up your phone, you kill the tree. You kill the tree. Now, that's a ridiculous thing, right? No one would really care about killing a digital tree. But here is the deal. Forest app and other things like it give us that little bit, that itty bitty bit of hesitation before we go into it. So I'm going to show you up here in the right-hand corner, you're going to see a little blue dot. When I click on it, it says 10 minutes left on here. All right, this is the Stay Focused app. Watch this. I am having trouble these days with news addiction. I have been watching the news way too much. I don't know about y'all, but it's not going well because I keep watching it. So now this little dot is red and it's starting to count down. That's because I have put news on a restriction so that I don't spend 45 minutes, 4 hours, whatever, looking at the news, because I need to get things done and I need to take care of myself. This is part of self-care. So you can go into the settings and you can be on a page and add whatever you want to keep distractions from. And then you give yourself 10 minutes a day or something like that. Now let's say, oh, I can handle it. An election's coming up. I need to have more time. So I'm going to give myself 20 minutes. And here's what it does. It says, are you trying to give yourself more time? Are you sure that's a good idea? Maybe you should reconsider. You want to increase it? I'm like, yes. You're not the boss of me. And then it says, seriously, dude, the whole point of this extension is to stop you from procrastinating. You're only hurting yourself and that kitten who gets an electric shock every time you click OK. Are you sure you can live with yourself? Well, right now, my cat cam is absent a cat because I can't get them to sit there while I want them to. So obviously, I'm a cat lover. I can't live with myself. Click, it's off. Silly, ridiculous. Nobody would sit there and think that a kitten was going to be killed or even whatever. But it gives you that extra second of hesitation before you go into that category again. It gives you that extra second of hesitation before you try to go see, even if you're surfing Kim Kardashian shoes, ironically, you're still losing time and taking away what you need. All right, I am going to come back here. Now, I put in more information than we're going to have time for. I did that on purpose because I like to give bonus stuff. So make sure you get, I'm going to give you a place for extra handouts, but make sure you get the most latest handouts because I changed it 3 minutes before I started, because that's what I do. And Corin has those. All right. I want you to think about reclaiming your time. And I love that we had a time, she might have said time blocking or time boxing champion to speak to y'all. But what time boxing is, for those of you who didn't go to that session or haven't heard of it, is instead of making a list, like here's what happens when I make a list. I put down write a new book next to eat lunch, right? And these obviously have, oh, Susan just laughed. Every time y'all laugh, would you put exclamation points in the chat just to make me happy? I'm kind of needy. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look, that made people laugh. Makes me happy. All right, so what time boxing does is instead of having a to-do list with all kinds of mumbo jumbo, you take every item from the to-do list and put it one by one on your calendar. So instead of saying, I'm going to contact 3 old leads today, or I'm going to work this afternoon, you say 2 o'clock on Tuesday, I'm going to set aside to contact these 3 leads. This does all kinds of things to your brain. Number one, every time you designate a very specific thing and you go into it with one concept, you are going to be able to get something done during that time. It's not just, I'm going to work this afternoon. It's, I'm going to contact 3 leads that is on my calendar. Number two, are you Zooming yourself to death these days? Yes, you are. We keep having these meetings and they're not necessarily productive. We just keep having them. So time boxing says, I'm not going to have a meeting at Tuesday at 2 because I have to get this done because it's on my calendar. Number 3, this helps you understand how long things take. And that is so critical. Listen, you need to figure out how to take back your time, to reclaim your time. And that's another point in this category, which is the Pomodoro Technique. Time boxing and the Pomodoro Technique work hand in hand. The Pomodoro Technique is very simple. There was a guy in Italy who had a kitchen timer shaped like a tomato. Anybody guess what Pomodoro is in English? It's tomato. Yeah. So he had this little kitchen timer shaped like a tomato, and he would set it for 25 minutes. 25 minutes. And then he would go into that 25 minutes with one thing on his list. He would not say, I'm going to work for 25 minutes because that's too general. He would say, I'm going to take 25 minutes and contact these 3 leads. And then during that time, he would not answer his phone. It was pinging and ponging, dinging and donging, and he left it alone. He would not answer his email. He would not pet the dog. He would not get up and check what was in the fridge for the 79th time that day. He would focus for 25 minutes. You should be able to put up your do not disturb sign for 25 minutes increments, no matter how many teenagers you have, no matter how many pets you have. You should be able to reclaim 25 minutes of your time at a time using time boxing and the Pomodoro Technique to help out. All right, this one's critical. Let me show you what practicing gratitude can do for you. It's funny because I wanted to show some statistics behind this. And when I looked, I was amazed. This is 28 benefits of gratitude. And this was redone in 2020. All right. In all of these pieces are proven things that practicing gratitude helps you with. It makes us happier. Simply journaling for 5 minutes a day about what we're grateful for can increase our long-term happiness by over 10%. It helps us increase our psychological well-being. It enhances our positive emotions, increases our self-esteem, keeps suicidal thoughts at bay, makes people like us. Do realtors want to get liked? I think so. All of these different things that helps us improve our friendships, increases social support, strengthens family, makes us more optimistic, increases our spiritualism, more giving, reduce materialism. I was able to listen for a few minutes when y'all were talking about some of the things you could do, and somebody was talking about Thanksgiving, giving back, and turkeys in a trunk or something like that. I'm not really sure. And it was amazing to me how that helps you when you're helping other people. So I know y'all have your phones right there. We already determined that. So right now, I want you to pick up your phone, find someone on that list you haven't been in contact with in a while, and write to them and thank them for something. Show gratitude. We're going to do that right this second. And then when you show gratitude, tell me what in general you have gratitude for in the chat. So we're doing two things. On your phone, text somebody out of the blue and tell them, give them some gratitude about what they've done for you. And then in the chat, share something you have gratitude about. So we're going to take like 3 minutes to do this. Now I went ahead and put it back on gallery view rather than my big head. And I was watching your faces, and I saw smiles on your faces while you were texting people. I saw like, I'm really enjoying giving back. I'm really enjoying sharing with someone. And I would bet that a few of you have already heard back from people who, one, are kind of freaked out that you said something, and two, are really happy to hear from you and are so appreciative. Is that happening? I did it with my sister the other day, and she's like, what's wrong? What's going on? Oh, thank you. What's the matter? People are always, always, always connecting back. And when you give that out, you're going to get it back in so much. Look, people are laughing. Oh, I'm so needy and I love it so much. I hear it in my heart. All right, so let's talk about how to do gratitude. Gratitude is that easy. What y'all just did is showing gratitude. But you can also use a couple of things. Here are some of my favorites. The Gratitude Happiness Journal is one that is a gratitude happiness journal app. But it helps you just every day check in. I've got a friend who does it on Facebook. And you know, she and I have some differing views about some things, but the way she does that, I follow her, or I watch for hers, and I give it thumbs up because it just makes me feel like I'm with her with the gratitude and the little things she's finding and calling out. So little ways you can do this, little things you can do. Let me show you one of my other favorite ways to do gratitude is with a handwritten note. Now, I got to tell you, realtors are fantastic about handwritten notes. I have gotten so many handwritten notes from realtors because y'all take the time to do that. However, it takes a lot of time. So this is one of my favorite tools. It's called Felt. And what Felt does is it creates these accordion-like little cards. So let me show you what it looks like down here. You see it's like this accordion thing. Now, let me ask you something. When y'all get a handwritten thank you note, how long do you keep it? You put it on your desk, you say, oh, that's so nice. And then how long does it get? When you clear off the desk, do you keep them all? Do some of them make the bulletin board, but the others you're just like, thank you, but I got to clean off my desk. Some people keep them forever. That's wonderful. And this tool will help it make sure they stay with them, because you can send a thank you note, or you can send this little accordion thing with a picture of them. They're not going to throw away a picture of themselves. What are they going to do? They're going to take that cool accordion thing and put it on their desk or put it somewhere in their world. And it's pictures of them. It's little thank you notes. You can put in little gift cards now, all kinds of things. And it's cheap. So for about $6 a month, you get 3 of those mailed. It's all included in there. So with Felt, you can change the way you are writing thank you notes. You can even make it look like you hand wrote it with a stylus, right? I always look like I'm drunk when I'm writing with a stylus. You know, it just doesn't come out really well, so I usually type mine. But there are all kinds of options, and it is $6 a month and you get 3 free. Now I do the $15 a month level, and I get a few other benefits. I still get 3 free, but I also get the ability to buy more at a super cheap price. So I love this because it's electronic, it's fast, it's easy, and you can show gratitude in just a couple of minutes, and it's a cool card. All right, let's see what else I have for you. I wanted to show you something. We only have 10 minutes left. Can y'all believe that? Makes me sad. I love you so much. I wanted to give you a couple breathe apps. You can have these in your handout. I won't go through them in depth, but the breathing app helps you breathe. That makes sense. The breathing app helps you take deep breaths at your computer so you don't get all messed up in your head. And Stretch Reminder does the same thing. Now here's a little trick that my BetterHelp person told me about. I was having anxiety, right? Like I just kept reading the news and I was like, oh my God, locusts, murder hornets, what is happening? Like I was not doing well. And she told me that it has been proven, and this worked, that getting your heart rate up very quickly, very high. Now, don't give yourself a heart attack. Consult with your doctor. But if you spend like 3 minutes doing really hard jumping jacks or burpees, which I've never been able to do, it's going to change your anxiety level. So learning to breathe hard, giving yourself that couple of crazy minutes. I don't know how old all of y'all are, but there was a movie called Flashdance where this woman is dancing and she's like this, and doing these crazy things. Well, that's what I did. And it worked. Like it helped me breathe hard and clear my mind for just a couple of minutes. And that worked to remove that anxiety. So this is an important category, and let me tell you why. Learning how to listen better. I like to show you statistics. I like to show you things that will help you understand what's going on and why we do this. How can stress impact the way you communicate? On average, people under low levels of stress can process 7 messages at a time. Under high levels of stress, 3 messages at a time. Ordinarily, people recall information in a linear order, 1, 2, 3. Under high levels of stress, people recall what was last said or most important. Parts of your brain shut down. If you are stressed, you need to figure out how to change your mind and make sure that you're still hearing things. So there's a couple of tools I like here. One of them is called Otter. And Otter is free for up to 600 minutes a month. Let me show you Otter for a second. So I'm just going to press record. This is the session we're in. Watch what is happening on the screen. In real time, it is taking my words and transcribing them. Then it will use artificial intelligence to go back through and clean it up even more. Lynn just wrote that she loves Otter. This is exactly what you need when you are making a sales call. I do it all the time. I talk with people. I'm like, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. I'll get this for you. And then I get off the phone and my manager's like, well, what did you promise? I'm like, I don't know. Probably a lot of stuff. And it's hard to take notes while you're doing that. And this is in times of non-stress, right? So what Otter does is lets me record every single sales call, every single planning meeting, and then I send it to my manager. She can read the transcriptions and then go back and just hit any button and play. Now, it's not 100%, but it is very helpful. But then I discovered this one. I know many of us deal with, on top of being in a pandemic, we are dealing with medical issues of other people in our family. We are the sandwich generation. We are taking care of older parents, taking care of kids with special needs, all these things. And we go to the doctor and we have to listen, or somebody else goes to the doctor and we want to report. This just in. These folks just got a whole bunch of funding for this tool. It's called a bridge. You take it into a medical conversation with you. It knows all the medical jargon. Then it pulls out the medical jargon and it defines it for you. You can record the whole thing. It will actually help you understand what your doctor is saying. Remember, during times of stress, you're only remembering one thing or the last thing people say. I did an article, I did a series of articles about a woman who had breast cancer. And she said the best thing about that someone can do for a person who has a lot of doctor's visits is go with them and take notes, because they are not hearing anything past treatment, cancer, chemo. They're not hearing any details. My mom had cancer, and my parents would go together, and my sister and I were like, what did they say? What's going on? What are they talking about? And my dad was like, cancer. Like, he just didn't retain anything. This is made to solve that problem. So it defines things for you. You can share it immediately with other people in the family. And I don't know if y'all have ever used this, but there's a tool called GoodRx that'll help you find discounts. It's integrated into here. So every time they mention a medicine, it will give you the GoodRx discounts in the descriptions. Fantastic tool. It just came out. Now here's another one for reducing stress in your house. How many of y'all are muted right now because the dog is still barking? Yeah, I am sure a lot of people have this problem. Even before COVID, we had this problem for many of us realtors who are working from home and on the go. And you have all that background noise. Well, Crisp is a tool that will cut out the background noise. So watch this. Let's say you have the barking dog. This button on the right, you see a little red dot. It's a toggle button to show what happens when you use the Crisp app. So I'm going to click play, and this is like somebody in a meeting.
Good morning. I'm just calling to remind you that we have a meeting this coming Thursday at 10 a.m. in our office. Be sure to send me all the necessary files and the design materials prior to that. Also, if you remember, we didn't manage to finish your paperwork during your last visit. This is all artificial intelligence. How about this one?
To summarize, we all agreed that we need to rewrite the contract. And with the banks, we'll take a step back and use our own capital instead to buy the remaining shares.
Right? Getting rid of that background noise. Now, even when we're not working from home and we don't have those kind of distractions, because a lot of people have gotten a lot more tolerant of the screaming and the barking. You folks who are on the road, you are in a coffee shop taking a phone call, you are in the car, that kind of thing. There are, with the higher levels, it actually has a phone app where you can make those calls and it'll block out all that background noise. Great for those of us who are always on the go or used to be. Those were the days. All right, so those two apps are, those three apps. Again, y'all have this. Corin's going to give it to you, those three things. Now, let me, hold on just a second. I am going to give you, we have one more section that I want to share. All right, hold on. We'll do it this way. Clone yourself. You need to learn how to, we only have 1 minute left, but you need to learn how to clone yourself. There are several ways to do this, and really it's about automating yourself, not cloning yourself. So the things I use are smart speakers and some of these tools that will set up tiny recipes. So watch behind me, because when I used to get ready for a session, I used to have to turn on certain lights and pump myself up and do all that kind of thing. But watch what happens now. Alexa, let's go.
Great. I will turn on your desk lights. You are ready to go. Break a leg.
Now I'm pumped up and I didn't have to crawl under the desk to turn on the lights. Are you ready for the big finish? All right, ready?
Our nerdy time is through, but Beth Z is always here for you. Your nerdybestfriend.com.
Thank you folks so much for letting me spend some time with you. You have extra things in your handouts, and I very much appreciate you letting me be part of your square boxes for today.
Thank you, Beth, so much. And I just want to remind you all, and Beth is going to back me up on this. We sent a list of everybody who signed up as an early bird for this session, a book, and Beth has sent those out to all of you. And we will have some additional ones here at SAR for those of you who didn't get, who don't receive a book from Beth. We'll have a few of them here at SAR as well. So check in with us and we'll make sure you get one of Beth's books.
That's great, Laura. Thanks for telling them that. And thanks again, Beth. That was really fun. I love your idea of doing the exclamation marks for applause because, you know, we do miss that from the live presentations. So I'd like to now welcome the Arizona Association of Realtors President again, Mary Roberts, to introduce our last speaker. Welcome, Mary, and we so appreciate that you joined us these last couple days.